If you desire a lengthy life, then this presentation is going to be indispensable for you from a dietary standpoint at least, since if there were a single meal, a particular starter, one main, one dessert, and a specific drink that, if consumed habitually, would shield your heart and diminish your mortality risk more than any other nutrition, it would be this one. It is tasty. It is quite simple to prepare. It is absolutely packed with fiber and health. And truly, I consume this kind of fare every single week because this dinner, all 3 courses of it, addresses inflammation, the rusting of cholesterol. It focuses on your blood pressure, your glucose levels, and the status of your arterial lining, every bit of it in one sitting. By the conclusion of this footage, you will grasp why. If you are a newcomer here, then hello, I'm Dr. Alex. I have been practicing within the NHS as an emergency clinician for a decade. Now I am providing everything I have learned with you to assist you in avoiding the conditions that I witness every single day. If you gather something useful from this video today, then please back what I'm doing by liking the footage and joining the channel, and I will just continue producing these guides for you. Let me just provide some background for where this footage actually originated. A few weeks back, a patient of mine arrived with chest discomfort, a symptom that we encounter literally all the time. The manner in which she explained those sensations, with the discomfort arriving when she walked and perceiving like a weight in the chest and jaw, then receding when she halted her movement, to me and to any clinician viewing this, that indicates what we define as stable angina. Now her heart trace was normal, her labs were normal, and everything else appeared fine on paper. Therefore, it was right to discharge her with some prescriptions, some daily habits advice, and some fast-tracked exams with cardiology. But obviously, from her habits and the manner in which she was relaying these issues, this had clearly been occurring for a very significant span of time. After we had organized her immediate clinical care and started the process with the proper tests, she turned and asked me, "What is the most nutritious meal you could actually suggest to me right now? What is the finest thing that I can go out and consume?" I believe that was an absolutely fantastic inquiry. Most individuals in the A&E department just want their pills and to head home. So we really value it when people inquire about these types of matters. Truly, this is what I explained to her because, as it happened, this was nearly exactly what I had prepared for dinner just a couple of nights prior. The point is, food isn't merely a side note to managing heart illness. For many people in the primary stages, at least, it actually represents the cure, and it is the remedy for many distinct ailments. The pathways behind various ingredients are absolute. The data is incredibly compelling. As I frequently mention on this page, the impact I can have on someone's health through food and movement is far greater than most of the pharmaceuticals I can provide, and it comes without any of the side effects as well. Now, obviously, it should be stated that if you are suffering from angina, then medication is vital at this point. If your vessels are so compromised that simply moving gives you heart discomfort, then I am not taking any chances here. But for most conditions in the early phases, habit advice always comes out on top. What I want to do today is guide you through this specific dinner beat by beat, what is in every plate, how to actually prepare it, and then, this is the segment that I really want you to wait for, precisely why every element is on this dish, right down to what it is physically doing within your vessels. Obviously, feel free to skip the actual preparation method, if you desire, by using the markers below. Look, I am in the studio here today. I am not in the kitchen preparing this in front of you, but honestly, I truly wish I were. A major objective of mine, something I'm really anticipating, is actually filming a proper cooking guide on this channel. We are currently constructing our house, and right now we reside in a mobile home, literally in a paddock. So I cannot achieve that at this moment. For now, just stay with me, and I'm really hoping this footage is still beneficial for you. I'm going to outline every phase really clearly, so that you can replicate this in your own home tonight if you choose to. What I told my patient is to consume as much of this as you want until you are satisfied. Do not worry about counts or sizes, particularly if you are trying to shift away from a lifestyle that has been heavy in factory-made foods. Just focus on getting these items into your system, because we need to move away from the idea that less is always superior. With nutrition like this, you aren't just eating. You are essentially consuming a remedy. These components have actual detectable biological impacts. So eat until you are full. Receive the total dosage and let the food perform what the research proves it can do. You will likely discover that your desire for sugary items decreases as a result. Remember that it is the quality of the ingredients on the dish that is vital right now, not the energy count. The starter is a salad of lentils, arugula, and walnuts with an extra virgin olive oil and sesame dressing. Lentils are among the finest sources of soluble fiber on the planet. They have a direct, well-proven path for reducing LDL cholesterol. So forget those high-priced fiber tubs that other individuals are trying to market to you. You can gather everything you require from real whole ingredients that have countless other perks. Walnuts provide plant-based omega-3 fats to assist in making the plaques that might already be building in your heart vessels more stable. The olive oil in the mix shields LDL from turning rusty, which is really the hazardous part, and I will clarify that in more detail in a moment. The arugula adds dietary nitrates that aid the health of your vessel lining. This isn't just a salad for the sake of eating greens. Every single part is performing a function. To make it, start by rinsing about 200 grams of lentils and putting them in a pot with cold water. Bring them to a boil, then turn it down to simmer for 20 to 25 minutes until they are soft but still have structure. You do not want mush. You want a little bit of texture. Drain them and let them cool. While they cook, make the dressing with 3 spoons of extra virgin olive oil, and I get mine from Citizens of Soil, where they show the polyphenol count on the glass. Add a spoon of tahini, juice from 1 lemon, a bit of garlic, salt, and some water to thin it. Whisk until it is smooth, then chop some walnuts. Toss the warm lentils with the mix and pile them on the greens. Now, let's discuss what is actually occurring. Lentils are one of the best fiber sources you can find. This specific fiber, the soluble kind, has a very precise, proven method for dropping LDL cholesterol, which is the type most linked to artery plaque. Here is how it functions. Your liver makes something called bile to break down fats. Bile is physically constructed from cholesterol. Usually, after bile works in your gut, the body takes it back and reuses it. But soluble fiber, like in lentils, binds to that bile and drags it out of the system before it can be saved. So when the liver runs short on bile, it must create more. To do that, it has to pull cholesterol out of your blood. So your LDL drops as a result, not because you are eating less of it, but because your frame is actively using more of it up. Large meta-analyses have consistently proven that regular bean and legume consumption significantly lowers your LDL levels. This is truly how you drop your numbers without a pill. There is a huge misunderstanding that the issue with cholesterol isn't purely how much is there. That isn't the full story. The genuine threat, the thing that actually sparks a cardiac event, is when LDL cholesterol turns rusty or oxidized. To grasp why, you must know what LDL actually is. These particles carry a protein on their outer layer called ApoB. These APO-carrying bits are the true drivers of vessel damage because they are small enough to enter the artery wall. Once they are inside, if they turn rusty, think of it like metal oxidation, they turn volatile and spark irritation. Your immune cells see them as an enemy and attack. That response causes swelling within the artery wall. Over years, that swollen, oxidized mixture is what turns into the plaques that can break open and cause a heart attack. The goal isn't just to drop LDL as a digit on a page. It is to drop the amount of ApoB bits moving through you and to shield the ones there from turning rusty. Extra virgin olive oil must be extra virgin, not a blend, because industrial processing ruins what makes it helpful. Real olive oil is packed with polyphenols. These natural molecules directly stop that rusting process. They also boost nitric oxide to keep vessels wide and relaxed. Then we have the walnuts. These are among the rare plant foods containing high amounts of alpha-linoleic acid, a plant omega-3. These fats improve your profile, drop your irritation, and most interestingly, they seem to assist in making plaques more solid. Not every plaque is a death sentence. Stable plaque with a thick, tough lid over it can sit in a vessel for decades without a problem. It is the volatile, thin-lidded, angry plaques that break open. When they burst, they spark a clot, and that clot is the heart attack. Omega-3 fats, through their calming effect, are linked to more stable plaque structure. Angry plaque bursts and causes a crisis. Stable plaque does not. That distinction is everything. Now let's move to the main course. It is baked salmon with steamed broccoli and spinach served over quinoa and sliced avocado. This isn't just a pile of healthy-looking things. Salmon is one of the most effective anti-inflammatory foods you can find. The greens have special bits your system turns into nitric oxide to keep vessels supple. The quinoa keeps your sugar steady all night, and the avocado provides the healthy fat that shields your vessels. Together, these 4 items handle the parts of heart illness the starter didn't hit. Set the oven to 180. Take a salmon piece, skin on is fine. Put it on a tray with olive oil, salt, pepper, and lemon. Bake for 15 or 20 minutes until just done and soft in the middle. While it bakes, cook 80 grams of quinoa in double the amount of water. Boil it, then simmer covered for about 12 minutes until you see the white rings. Or just buy the microwave packs. Those are fine. At the same time, steam your broccoli and spinach. 5 or 6 minutes for the broccoli and just seconds for the spinach at the very end. Season it lightly. Slice half an avocado and put it all together. Quinoa first, salmon on top, greens and avocado around it. That is a truly powerful main course. Salmon provides EPA and DHA, the long-chain omega-3s, with the strongest heart data. These are different and more direct than the ones in walnuts. They lower your triglycerides, drop your total inflammation, and improve your vessel lining. Trials prove that oily fish twice a week is the most consistent and accessible way to get these cardiac benefits into your body. Broccoli and spinach are very high in nitrates. Once you eat them, mouth bacteria and then your frame turn them into nitric oxide. This is one of the most vital molecules for your vascular system. It is made by the endothelium, and its job is to tell the vessel walls to relax and open wide. When you produce plenty of it, flow is easy and pressure is lower. When that function is broken, which is an early sign of heart disease, your vessels turn rigid, pressure climbs, and plaque risk goes up. View that lining as the security guard of your heart health. If the guard is well, everything else works better. Greens like kale and asparagus support this directly. This is why blood pressure advice is focusing on more veggies, not just less salt. Quinoa has a low glycemic load, meaning it lets sugar into the blood slowly instead of a huge surge. This is huge for heart disease because of how sugar damages the arteries. When you have sugar spikes from white bread or rice or ultra-processed food, your insulin spikes with it. Over time, your cells stop reacting to insulin, and that resistance is directly harmful to your arteries. High insulin drives stress and inflammation and speeds up plaque. Quinoa combined with fiber keeps your insulin low and calm. Now for the dessert. It is full-fat Greek yogurt. Try the 10% version with berries and pistachios. Do not fear the term full-fat. The berries have compounds that help your artery lining. The yogurt aids the gut bacteria that manage inflammation and your numbers. The nuts provide fiber and more shielding fats. To make it, put some yogurt in a bowl, add a handful of berries. Blackberries are my favorite. And a handful of pistachios. Frozen berries are fine. The berries are full of anthocyanins. These are pigments that help the vessels widen and drop your stress markers. Yogurt that is fermented provides probiotics for a healthy microbiome. The link between your gut and heart illness is a very fast-growing area of medicine. Gut bacteria produce things that enter your blood and guide your cholesterol and pressure. A diverse gut means lower heart risk. Pistachios are rich in phytosterols. These look like cholesterol, so they fight for absorption in the gut. Because the nuts win, the liver has to pull more LDL out of the blood to keep its balance. Finish the meal with a cup of kefir. It is a fermented drink made with bacteria and yeast. It is one of the most powerful probiotic sources you can have, more than yogurt. A diverse gut helps manage your swelling and lower heart attack risk. If you don't like it, try kombucha. It also has live cultures, though the data is less robust. Look, you do not fix a heart with just one dinner. That is obvious. If you have established illness or chest discomfort when walking, see a doctor first. Food is not a complete replacement for clinical care, but every single meal you consume sends a signal to your immune system and your vessels. The signal from this meal is repair and stability rather than damage. This isn't talk. The research is absolute. Dietary shifts have even shown plaque shrinking in trials. There is no one magic superfood here. This dinner simply hits every main driver of plaque. Low LDL via fiber, no oxidation via polyphenols, stable plaque via omega-3s, supple vessels via nitrates, and steady sugar via slow carbs. Most drugs hit one path. This meal hits 6 at once. I would start right here with a dish that understands the disease and uses powerful whole foods.